Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to share a classic fall capsule wardrobe. I really love capsule wardrobes. If you've been to this channel before, you know that I tend to do them every season. And as I've done them more and more, and I've really figured out my personal style, I use them a little bit differently than I used to. So in today's video, I want to go over my approach to capsule wardrobes, why I think they're helpful, and just really top line how you can apply this to your own life in a way that's going to feel freeing rather than restrictive. And then I'm going to go over all of the things that I've chosen, the color palette and all of that. And then I'm going to end it with a lookbook of a couple of outfits that I've been able to create using this small capsule set to music so that you can hopefully get some inspiration. So let's get started. So let's start off with a really top line about what capsule wardrobes are, why I like them, and how I've adjusted my approach over the last few years. So if you're unfamiliar, a capsule wardrobe refers to a small selection of pieces that are interchangeable that you wear for a set period of time. So that can be a week, that can be many weeks, a month, a couple months, a season, or even a year, and sometimes an entire multiple years into the future. I've seen some really intense capsule wardrobes out there. And essentially, the entire objective behind a capsule is to really help you pinpoint your style, really start to figure out what you like to wear, and ultimately understand that you probably need fewer clothes than you think you do. So it's been a really wonderful process for me. I've found it very freeing and I've learned a lot about myself. So when I first started, I was really strict about capsules. I cleared out my closet using a lot of the methods that I talk about on this channel, and then I stuck to a seasonal capsule for an entire season of, I think, 20 or so pieces, and I was really deliberate about the number of items and the color palette and everything. I did the full shebang when it comes to a capsule, and I did that for, I think, 2 years. Every season I would do something different using my wardrobe, and throughout that process I didn't shop. And instead, I used it as an opportunity to really take note of what I loved, the combinations that made me feel good, the things that were practical for my life, and then the colors that I was gravitating towards out of my wardrobe. So at the end of it, it was so eye-opening because I really started to understand myself and I loved it. So from there, I evolved the process slightly. So I had a kind of looser approach. I would do one every season, but I would include accessories, I wouldn't monitor the number, and I wasn't so aggressive with not shopping, and instead I was able to slowly build wish lists and then thoughtfully introduce new things into my wardrobe. So all of that brings us to where we are today, and now I use capsule wardrobes as a springboard for my wardrobe rather than a really strict curation of my closet. I no longer feel the need to restrict myself because I know what I like. I know that I can make wish lists and be thoughtful about my purchases, and I make very few mistakes anymore because I know the colors I like and all of that stuff that we just talked about and that I talk about a lot on this channel. So instead, I use capsule wardrobes now to really pull out combinations I'm excited about, really highlight certain colors from my wardrobe that I want to wear more to see if I like them enough to then introduce more pieces, and really as a way to have a nice core foundation from my overall closet that I can go to effortlessly. So I don't have to worry about what to wear. I've got everything set at the front of my closet, and I can just grab things and then mix and match those endlessly. And then I also really like capsules now as a way to test out trends. So at the moment, I'm really interested in the chunky boot trend. And so I have a pair of rain boots that kind of look like chunky boots. And so I've been slowly adding those into some of the capsule outfits that you'll see and into this core capsule that I'm going to share. And I'm using that as a way to not feel overwhelmed by it and instead really get a feel for whether or not I do like chunkier boots, whether or not it's something that does serve my style, and as a way to make the whole process a lot more manageable. So I really encourage you to try capsules if you haven't before. Whether you do it really strict or a more loose approach like I do now, I think the benefits are a million times things over, and I think that it's something that everyone should really try during their personal style journey. So I really, really recommend it. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and jump into the capsule that I've selected for fall. This is a really simple classic capsule of a few pieces that are really interchangeable, and the objective is to really ensure that I have clothes that I can turn to so that I don't keep wearing gym clothes and loungewear all the time, because I feel like I need to get out of that cycle. I'm sure so many of you can relate right now. So I'm using this as a great springboard for that and to get me excited about getting dressed, even if I have nowhere to go. And then also, like I mentioned earlier, as a way for me to have a base of familiarity that I can then experiment a little bit with some trends and see if I actually do wear them before investing in them. So I like to start off all of my capsules and my wardrobe in general, like I've said 1,000 times, with a color palette, because color palettes are so important to ensuring you feel really good in your clothes. I think color sometimes can be more impactful than cut when it comes to your clothing, and I think having a color palette that's interchangeable is really, really good. So for this capsule, my base colors, which represent the largest items in this capsule, are off-white, black, and then navy. And then the accent colors, which represent fewer items from this capsule, are emerald green, camel, and gray. Now let's run through the actual items that I've selected for this capsule, and as you'll see as we're going through it, I've included the shoes in this overall approach, but I haven't included accessories, and that's very purposeful because I think accessories really change up your outfit so much, and I find capsules a lot more freeing when they don't count the accessories. But for the sake of this capsule being easy to digest and easy to follow along with, depending on where you are in the process, I've pulled out a couple that I will highlight so that you can see how a few thoughtful accessories can really enhance a few really basic pieces. So let's start off with tops, and I've selected a navy cashmere crewneck sweater, an off-white cropped cashmere sweater, an oversized off-white turtleneck, and a gray balloon sleeve cashmere sweater. All are super cozy and really, really beautiful. And then for bottoms, I've selected a floral emerald green skirt, a pair of navy pants, casual jeans, faux leather leggings, and a plaid skirt. For outerwear, I've selected my oversized camel coat, a thrifted double-breasted vest that I recently added to my wardrobe and I love so much, and then an oversized black blazer. It's also important to note here that my outerwear reflects where I live, and where I live now isn't that cold, so I don't need really, really heavy outerwear, which is why I have a vest, because usually that's more than enough for the majority of this season. But of course, as with every capsule, you should customize it to where you live, and you should select things that are going to be useful for your life. So if you end up with very cold weather, or maybe you already have cold weather for fall, then definitely take that into consideration and make sure you're adding layering pieces and really heavy coats and heavy scarves and gloves and everything. Otherwise, you're going to totally resent the process and you're going to feel ill-equipped. And I find that that defeats the point and kind of ruins it before it even gets started. So always be really thoughtful about what you add. And also don't be afraid to shift gears in the middle of this season and actually go in and add new things or remove things, because that's how you learn. And I think that's how capsules serve us the best, because they really should be an exercise for us to really understand ourselves and our style. So then for shoes, I've selected my classic Chelsea boots. These are flat and they have an almond toe and they go with everything. Plus they're really comfortable, so I think it's a really good versatile shoe for a smaller wardrobe. And then I've also selected a pair of Converse. This is new to my wardrobe and I'm experimenting with them, and I really want to make sure that it's something that I like before I buy another pair or decide how practical this is for my lifestyle and my wardrobe, my personal style. So I'm using this capsule as a great chance to experiment with this and see how versatile they truly are for me. And then like I mentioned, I don't include accessories, meaning jewelry and scarves and things like that, in my overall capsule, simply because I like having access to all of my accessories. I think they really change up your outfit, and I'm a huge accessory person, so I don't like restricting that part of it for my personal style. But for the sake of this capsule, I wanted to highlight a couple so you could really see how a thoughtful approach to this can go a really long way. So I've selected a scarf that's really small, and then a medium-sized scarf, and then a really big scarf, something that's warmer. And then I've also selected a small structured bag, and then a vintage emerald green clutch to again bring in that green color into my wardrobe. I've also selected a pair of chunky hoop earrings, a really beautiful long necklace that I was recently gifted, and I will be talking about more very soon, both on my blog and here on this channel. And I love it because it adds a really beautiful texture to my outfits. It catches the light so beautifully, and it's something that's been on my wish list for so long that now that it's here, I really want to use it and be really conscious about styling it different ways and making sure that I'm using it to the best of its potential in my overall wardrobe. And then I also included a pair of statement pearl earrings and my usual rings that I always wear. And so now I want to share some of the outfits that I put together using this capsule to show you how versatile a few really well-considered pieces can be, and hopefully inspire you to try this for yourself and customize it to your own personal preferences. So I will link everything down below, including alternatives if what I have is old, vintage, or secondhand. And then I'll also link my blog post in case you learn better by reading. And like I said, I hope that this is inspirational and helpful for you. I have a lot of capsule wardrobe videos on this channel, so I will link some of those down below for you as well to hopefully give you some direction depending on where you are in the process. And like always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Have a great day.